Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. Look at that, guys. I actually know what day it is. That hasn't happened in a little while. Right off the bat, I knew what it was. Monkey, I left while you were visiting the railroad last night. How did it go? Well, Uncle Ira, it went. He's talking about the Fallout 4 stream that I was doing. I beat the game, as it were. I finished the main quest, and it went all right, I guess. I wasn't happy with it, but decisions have consequences. Unfortunately, they don't make it very clear. I thought that I could make other decisions after I was talking to some certain idiots, and apparently you can't, and oops, things happen. But we got through the game. It was fun. I wasn't happy with what I felt kind of forced at that point, which is kind of my problem with that game in general. So much of it does seem like the whole game just seems forced. There's very little of it that seems genuine to me. Again, I enjoyed the gameplay. It was a lot of fun, but just the relationship seemed forced. The dialogue seems forced. The story itself seems kind of forced. Would I recommend it? Sure. If you like playing video games, I think it was cool. Illiterati, thank you so much. Who says, "G'day, mate. Just flicking a tip your way." I appreciate that. Flick away. Excuse me. You gave me the hiccups. That's a good donation when you get a hiccup. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. You can't stop me. Thank you for the donation. Very kind. On time for once. What do you mean on time for once? That's as late as I ever am, and as early as I always am. Remember, this show starts exactly when I turn on the stream. That's when it starts. That's what she said. Stop it. How dare you? How dare you? No, guys, I wasn't sure if I was going to do a show right away or if I was going to wait and play video games for a while. And I decided to go ahead and just do it because I'm enjoying the kind of time frame I'm on right now. It's not my ideal time frame. It's a little earlier than I like. It's actually a lot later than I'd like. I like to do believe it or not, guys, my favorite time to do Monkey in the Morning is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I know that seems weird. Monkey in the Morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You do the math. Thank you, Chicago Mike. Show starts when we show up. Show starts when I'm here, man. It's always been the time. Always been the time on this show. There is a reason the show doesn't have a set starting time. My sleep schedules are so weird and they vary so much. It's actually really hard for me to keep the Lords of the Night time. You guys have no idea how many times I would not be on the show if it wasn't for Lady Monkey. She wakes me up so often just to make sure I'm there. And it is the only schedule that I keep worth a shit. Because, Nick is on in 30 minutes. Nick who? Oh, Ricada. Gotcha. Thoughts on Last of Us Part 2? I have really weird thoughts on it. I think they're probably weird from what I've been seeing. I think the negativity on it is way overblown, which happens in the gaming community. I bet you there's a whole bunch of people bitching about the way this game went who never played the first one at all. It's just the thing to do right now. I think having a sex scene in the middle of the game, as weirdly graphic as the one they have in there, is unnecessary, but it's their design choice. And I think if you don't like the game, don't play the game. I'm not a fan of review bombing. If you don't like it, don't play it. And there's a whole lot of what's its Metacritic score right now? 3.5 last I saw, I think is what it was. I wonder how many of I think it was 4,000 people had voted on that. How many of it have actually played the game and played through the game? There's a whole lot of games that get a bad rap and it just kind of snowballs. I remember at the beginning of Diablo 3, how many people People I know for a fucking fact did not have that game went and review bombed the shit out of it just because that was the thing to do at the time. I think on the other hand, the critics, the media critics are all full of shit because I doubt they've played the game either. And I know they haven't played all the way through the motherfucker. I think there's a lot of it that's just, this is so progressive. I mean, it's got gay women, it's got trans sex, it's just so progressive. This is the game we need right now. Shut the fuck up. that shit has nothing to do with gameplay. I think everybody's a little bit overblown on it. I will wait and see what Satsu thinks about the game. Satsu loved the first game. He actually recommended the first game to me. I own the first game because of him, but I didn't play that far into it before I got distracted by other things. So this is somebody who really loves the game. And if at the end of the game he tells me, yeah, it's shit, I don't like what they did with it, I'll take his opinion on it. I probably won't play it. So I just think a lot of it is outrage on the one side, and on the other side, it's virtue signaling. So what's the truth? Play it for yourself and see if you're interested in it at all. Didn't like Diablo 3. Diablo 3 was fine for what it was. Diablo 3's biggest disappointment was that they didn't have the random maps. The crashes at the beginning, which lasted, I mean, the reports of how bad it is are a bit overblown, even to this day. I have absolute shit internet, and I was playing it the night that it came out. The problems were a bit overstated. That doesn't mean it was a good launch, but by day 3, that was pretty much all worked out. So a lot of the review bombing that still happened then was just people jumping on the bandwagon. The gameplay itself was fine. Gameplay in Diablo 3 was fun. The devil having titties was kind of weird. A little bit weird. Diablo 2, Lord of Darkness is 100 times better than Diablo 3, in my opinion. Well, just because Diablo 2 is better than 3 doesn't mean 3 isn't good. Diablo 2, to me, was just as repetitive as the other one, except for, okay, the entrance to this dungeon's in a different spot, depending on what map you're in. And the dungeon's a little bit differently laid out. What I hate that they did with Diablo 3 is they gave into the whiners who are like, this armor does nothing for me. Go back and play 2, dumbass. Do you know how much shit you collected that did nothing for you? I hate that they made it so that everything is something your class could use. They took all of the mystery out of it, all of the fun out of opening it and hoping you got something good, all of the replayability out of it. Can you still replay? Sure, but eventually you're going to get the best shit, and there's no real reason to. With Diablo 2, that could still happen, but you had to play forever to get the absolute best shit, or go buy it. I mean, yeah, so Diablo 2 is the pinnacle of Blizzard greatness. I disagree. I would say Warcraft 3, especially Frozen Throne. Just the storytelling alone was so good in that. The fact that Blizzard was not afraid to go against common tropes. I mean, Arthas just becomes a straight up douche. You're waiting for that. You're waiting for that moment when he comes to his senses, you know? And instead, no, he just becomes the evil of the world. And his story still is my favorite bad guy story, I think, of all time, because he never repents. He never, even when he dies, and his dad is there, this man that he killed, all he asks is it over? Yep, there it is. The bad guy wins in Warcraft 3, and I love it. Yeah, Warcraft 3 was amazing. Diablo 2 was great to play, don't get me wrong. I love Diablo 2. We played the shit out of that. And it was such it was a big enough standard jump from Diablo 1 to make it worthy of having a successor. A lot of times, especially back in those days, your second entry would just be exactly like the first entry. I'm glad, or I'm happy when things stay the same in games. But like, if you guys never played Diablo 1, I mean, you're in one town. It's pretty limited. At least in 2, you start going to different towns. They can tell a bigger story. So yeah, it was great. Anyway, my dad is a huge Diablo fan. I'd play it if I wasn't done with Blizzard. Play it. Play Diablo. Look, I get, voting with your money and all that. That's fine. Go buy it reused from somebody else. Diablo 2, you can buy reused. It's not like it's like you have to play online. Diablo 3, you have to have the account for. So, isn't Warcraft a pay-to-play online? That's World of Warcraft, and that's the MMO. Warcraft itself was a real-time strategy game. That's true. I can buy it used. And I suggest you do. If you enjoy video games and you've looked at Diablo and like, this could be interesting, go play 2. It's a lot of fun. It's dated, though. I'm not going to lie to you. The graphics are dated. I'm actually surprised that Blizzard came out with the Warcraft 3 update instead of the Diablo 2. Diablo 2 was on sale at retailers for over a decade. For a video game, that is amazing, you guys. I don't know if you guys have any sense of the video game industry, but a game that is actively being sold in retail for a decade is unheard of. The only thing that comes close, StarCraft, also a Blizzard game. Back when Blizzard was a little less PC-ish. Any games you would recommend, Monkey? Yeah, there's lots of games I'd recommend, Kyle. It just depends on what kind of game you like to play. Like, the game I recommend to everybody is RimWorld, but that's not a game for everybody. It's a great game, and if you like video games, it's wonderful, especially if you like survival games. But otherwise, I mean, you'd have to let me know what kind of games you like. So I think they still sell the battle chest at Walmart. Last I knew, they'd gotten rid of it. You can still buy it at, if you're talking about the Diablo 2 battle chest. Last I knew, you could still get it on the Blizzard website, but that was the only place I could find it, and it seemed a lot more expensive than it used to be at Walmart. Old Guy Gamer says, playing RimWorld right now. Oh, dude, that game will suck you right in, man. You will spend days in that game, and it'll break your heart at the same time. With no story whatsoever, that game will break your fucking heart. I started playing The Observer, and I like it. Thus far, I'd call it a game, not for everyone. I'm not even familiar, so... I didn't mean to start off talking about video games. I think GTA 5 is still full price at Wally World. Yeah, but it's only like, what, a couple... That's not a decade old yet. Monkey, The Witcher. If you're talking about a game to recommend, I don't recommend The Witcher to very many people at all, especially if you're talking about the first one, which is the only one I've played. The gameplay of The Witcher 1 is an acquired taste. It's kind of a hybrid. It's a hybrid role-playing Twitch game. It's kind of weird. I've died to a hamster and a bunny. Dude, got to be careful. Don't let them bite you. Got to set up your defenses, man. The Observer is a cyberpunk mystery horror game that's kind of akin to Condemned without the combat. Fair enough. Now, I got a lot of games that I have played or that I've been playing. Again, Fallout 4 has been my game recently. And again, that's just because I hadn't played it. So I wanted to play something on the stream. We're still looking at... Oh, by the way, guys, somebody did mention Fallout New Vegas for the next game I should play, and it's still in my list of maybes, but Razor Fist is playing that right now. Don't go watch it right now. Watch it after this. But if you want to see Fallout played, he's playing New Vegas right now. Let's see. Witcher 3 is far better than 2. Didn't play 1. Yes, you and me are different. I played one, and the combat system was so kind of, it's got that little twitch game to it. What is it, like blocking or something? Or no, getting your best hit off. Kind of reminded me of the South Park Stick of Truth game, which I loved it, but I don't, in a turn-based role-playing game in Stick of Truth, it's like I have to hit a button at a certain time. That's stupid. That's not how that works. What is this? A modern JRPG? Stop it. Anyhow. I don't know if I even want to talk about this, you guys. I don't want to start controversy on my channel, so I'm just going to say it. I've received a lot of comments lately about who may or may not be on the show. And I just want to put this to rest so everybody knows how I feel about it. I will have on who I want when I want. The end. Hope that solves all the problems. Everybody understands. You guys' stream got me playing No Man's Sky. I've been playing Elite Dangerous lately. I have Elite Dangerous, and still I haven't played more than like 5 minutes of it. Every time I go to start it up, it's like, you know what? I'm going to play something else instead. I'll just play something else. And I like the look of Elite Dangerous, and I feel like it's something that's going to require a lot of my time to get into. So maybe that's one for stream. I don't know. Would you guys watch me play? Get Biden on the show. Now, I'm not opposed to people going, hey, you know what? You should consider talking to so-and-so, and maybe they would be a good stream guest. That's not exactly what I'm talking about. I would have Biden on the show. I would love to talk to Joe Biden. I have questions for Joe Biden that I don't think he's ever going to answer. That I would love to have the chance to at least ask. Joe Biden right now is getting such an absolute pass from our media. You know, there's been a lot of talk about how Donald Trump, we should have looked at Donald Trump harder. We could not have held him under a bigger microscope when he was running for president. And the same kind of people who talk about how we should have paid more attention to Donald Trump have paid zero to Joseph Biden. Joe Rogan is getting some shit right now because he came out and said Joe Biden is in obvious mental decline and nobody will talk about it. It's true. I mean, if he's not in mental decline, then he's been faking it very well his entire life. And those gaffes were a lot more understandable than they are. I mean, this is the man who once lied and said he got 3 degrees from college. But this isn't him slipping up. This isn't even him lying. This is him seeming to have no understanding of where he's even at. No understanding of what's being said to him or what he's saying. They keep talking about gaffes, and we're beyond gaffes with him. And nobody's holding him under any kind of microscope. John Migda, thank you so much. Money for Monk. I appreciate it. Don't forget, I am brought to you by you. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe and the shares and the donates if you can. All of that good stuff. T-shirts and mugs are down below. Lots of stuff. If you guys haven't seen it, Jack has a new T-shirt out that says "Not Jack." I retweeted it yesterday. Go check that out. I don't have it in the description. I should have done that. But anyway, yeah, you can check it out on my Twitter, which is linked below, and on his Twitter because he retweeted me tweeting it. So, Joe Biden is not being held to any account for anything. They're just ignoring the man, and I think it's that they do know he's in decline. Every time Biden speaks up, his numbers go down. Every time they give him any kind of coverage, anytime that he gets to talk at all, suddenly his numbers go down. So they're hiding him. Not only is he not under a microscope, they've locked that motherfucker in a closet like he's a gay man from the 70s. They're just not letting him out. Like, shh. Don't let people see him. And I don't want to say it's bad for democracy. I do think it's bad for our electoral system, though. Bad for democracy. I just don't like the way that sounds. But I do think it's bad when you're actively hiding one of the candidates for president. This man's not running for city council. He wants to be president. You don't just fuck it's just, that's just Joe. Ignore him. Or my favorite, well, he's got a history. Well, yeah, every time we bring up his history, you guys tell us why it's wrong. Did you see the other day footage popped up of him saying the N-word in the Senate, in a Senate hearing twice? But it's okay. He can say it because, he was talking about what somebody else said. You get canceled for that these days. That's what was it Netflix? The guy at Netflix was repeating what somebody else had said or how somebody else might say something. He wasn't saying the word himself. Got fired over it. But Joe Biden, don't worry, you guys. When he dropped the N-bombs in the Senate, I mean, don't worry about that, man. When he was hanging out with segregationists and when he was, that distinguished gentleman, when he was ripping old Anita, not Anita Sarkeesian, what's her name? From Clarence Thomas, what the hell's her name? The bitch who kicked off all of this stuff, Anita Hill. Now don't pay attention to how he treated Anita Hill. When he was bragging about how did you guys see that it just came up again? Not only did he support the 1994 crime bill, but that he said it gives the death penalty for everything but jaywalking. Proudly gives the death penalty for everything but jaywalking. Don't pay attention to anything he's actually said in the past. Anything that came out of his mouth, don't pay any attention to that. Don't worry. We're not going to have him explain it to you. We'll just tell you what he would have said if we were letting him speak. Come on, man. Joe Biden don't remember that. Corn Pop was a bad dude. Yeah. When you see him, and then I understood what cockroaches are, whatever the fuck he said. Good God. I don't see how you can look at this guy and not see that he's in cognitive decline. And I think that's why we're not seeing him. I think everybody sees it. I think Joe Rogan's wrong. Okay, let me rephrase that. At least the wording that I saw from Joe Rogan. I haven't read his actual statement. I'm going by what was said. If he was suggesting that people haven't noticed it, he's wrong. If he's saying they're not speaking about it, he's absolutely right about that. I think the problem is everybody has noticed it. And so they're like, yeah, we're not going to talk about old Joe right now. Because Joe's lost his fucking mind. Joe's not there, you guys. I watched Blair White's video today. Blair White did an excellent video on the J.K. Rowling. Is it Rowling? I don't know how you say her fucking name. The Harry Potter lady. The controversy with her and trans people. And at the beginning of that video, I got a Joe Biden ad. And he trips over, he flubs his fucking words in the ad. This is something you guys can, wait, another take, Mr. Biden. We need to fix that. You fucked up here. This isn't like he was doing it live. But do you think maybe that, take two could be a lot worse? Take two could be a lot worse. Let's just run with this where he trips over his goddamn words in the middle of a fucking political ad. That was the best they could get after that. After many takes, Faithless, that could be the point or the issue. Peter says the same thing. Guess that was his best take. Maybe it was, but you could always, cut to some dancing children and change the audio up. There's lots of ways to get around a flub when you're doing video. I was so fucking amazed that this is the ad they put out for this guy because they know nobody's going to say anything, or at least nobody in the press. They're not going to give a shit. They're going to let it go. Fuck that. Let's talk about burning down cities for racism instead. Let's talk about Donald Trump having a convention. Let's talk about Donald Trump and skip the convention. Let's just go to his rally that's coming up tomorrow. Let's talk about that. Somebody said on Lords of the Night, somebody mentioned it getting canceled. I hadn't seen anything about it getting canceled. Anybody know anything about that? It was supposed to be tonight, but his aide stepped in and go, Mr. President, it looks bad for you to go to Tulsa, of all places, and have a rally on Juneteenth. If you guys don't understand why that's a big deal, Tulsa is where Black Wall Street used to be. We've talked about this. And there was a horrible riot that happened, and Black Wall Street got burned to the fucking ground and never really came back. And so doing that on Juneteenth, which, by the way, I do want to talk about this again because I mentioned it on Lords of the Night. We keep seeing Juneteenth is such an amazing date because it took 2 years for the slaves in Texas to hear about the Emancipation Proclamation, which set them free. Well, technically, yes, but no. The Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves in the South, which at the time, Lincoln didn't have the power to do. They had seceded from the nation. They were their own nation now and not subject to U.S. laws. And in all honesty, they should have been allowed to secede. I'm happy we stopped slavery. That's a great thing that happened. But what happened there, that was fucked up. That's meaning no state can ever leave the Union. It belongs to the United States. And that's not exactly within the idea of a republic. These autonomous states get to make up their own mind and be like, you know what? Fuck it. We don't want your shit anymore. But Lincoln did a very brave thing, and he released all the slaves in areas he had no power in 1863 with the Emancipation Proclamation. And if you listen to the Juneteenth stuff, what you're going to hear is that it took 2 years for them to hear about it in Texas. That's true. Well, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if nobody down there had heard about the Emancipation Proclamation. But what they point to is that in 1865, on July 19th, word finally got down there about the Emancipation Proclamation. No. Word finally got down there that the fighting was over because the Civil War had ended 2 months earlier. It's not that it took 2 years to go down like, yeah, the war was over. We just waited a couple of years to go tell the black people down there in Texas. That's not what happened. The war ended in April of 1865. And by June 19th of 1865, word got down there. Yeah, the fighting's over. The North is won. Slaves are free. That's not to say we shouldn't celebrate it. I just don't like the extra importance it's given. Oh, it took 2 years. It didn't. It took 2 months. And we're talking at a time where, I mean, it's not like even traveling that distance to tell somebody was very easy. But yeah, so having the rally on Juneteenth looked bad, so they moved it back a day, especially doing it in Tulsa. It's dog whistles, you guys. It wasn't. Texas can still secede from the Union. It's embedded in our Confederation contract. Every state should be able to. I don't encourage it, and I don't want to see any states actually leave. Maybe California. California can take their shit and go home. And then they can buy the power and water and shit that they get from the rest of the country. And look, we put more money in there. No, you don't. Shut up, bitch. You guys get a fuck ton of free shit from us. Stop it. Let's go your own way. You got a big economy. Let's watch it fail. Let's watch it fail. No, I'm okay with any state saying, look, we want to secede from the Union. Like, all right. Okay, bye. I'm glad that it wasn't allowed to happen over slavery, because that's just a black eye if there ever was one. But yeah, the states decide that's what they want to do, then let them go be their own country. Let them be the United States of racism for all I care. I just won't live there. The end. We'd have North and South America. Wait, we already have that. We'd have North and South USA. Works pretty well for Korea, right? No. Anyway, so Trump had this, and there are people losing their shit over it because the Oklahoma Supreme Court came out and said that they were not going to force people that go to the rally to wear masks. They were not going to force the CDC recommendations on the people who go in that arena. They're going to let them, and I know this is going to cause some triggers out there. They're going to let these people make up their own minds and deal with their own consequences. Jim Acosta, who's in the title, and we'll get to that reason why. He asked Kayleigh McEnany, how do you say her God? I don't know if I'll ever be able to pronounce her name. Kayleigh McEnany, about Trump and him forcing people or not forcing people to wear masks a couple of days ago. And then he brought it up again today and asked Kayleigh specifically, are you going to the rally? And she's like, yeah. Will you be wearing a mask? And she's like, no. The end. And he's like, oh my God. And people are freaking out all over the Twitter, you guys. Freaking the fuck out. Oh my God. They want people to die. Meanwhile, those same people have no problem with the protests. And I actually got into an argument with one of those morons on the Twitter, which I recommend reading because it's a lot of fun. At least it was for me. I don't care if you wear a mask. I wear one myself when I do go in public. I don't go in public all that often. But the 2 times I've been out since the pandemic, I've worn a mask. Why? Why not? It doesn't hurt me. So why the fuck not? I'll wear one, sure. If it helps a little bit, I'll do it. I don't care. Do I think everybody should have to? Nope. I think that's a decision you make. And they're like, but what about grandma? Tell grandma to keep her ass home. If grandma goes out, that's a decision she's making. Grandma could wait till she has an N95 mask, which are the ones that keep you from getting sick. When you're wearing a mask in public, you're not keeping yourself from getting sick. You guys know that, right? Unless you're wearing the N95 respirator mask, unless you're wearing some kind of actual respirator mask, you're not keeping yourself safe. That's to keep everyone else safe. The cloth masks, those keep your spit from getting out. That's not keeping spit and shit from getting in. It's not a respirator. It's just a piece of cloth over your face. You'd need like the face shield, or like Faithless says, goggles. Because there's all kinds of ways that particulates can get into your body, on your head. Those are to keep you from spreading things. It's not to keep you from catching anything. 90% of people don't wear them correctly anyway. Now, I'm not going to trust your 90% there, Zan, but it's an awful lot of fucking people. It's an awful lot of people. I was watching the DA from Atlanta, the guy who came out and said that those officers in the Atlanta shooting were being charged. The one was with murder and the other one with other charges. I watched the original video of him a week ago talking about how a taser is a deadly weapon. And in that, there's, in both of these videos, there's people around him with like the mask under their nose, one dude with it up so his mouth was clear, and the DA himself with no mask at all. I haven't heard anybody freak out about him not wearing a mask. It's amazing how many of these shitheads get in front of a microphone and they're not wearing a mask. It doesn't, unless it's a really shitty microphone, it doesn't obstruct your voice that much. You should still be able to project your voice enough to be heard. Like, you should be wearing a mask, like I am down here around my throat. Fucking assholes. I don't get the whole thing with the mask. People freaking out over it. The CDC can't even decide for sure if masks are helpful. That's why it's only a recommendation. And they've gone back and forth on it. Oops, where people wear these masks. Well, I've never stopped working since this whole thing started. I laugh at how, when, and where people wear these masks. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen people in their car with the mask on. I'm like, you realize unless you have sick people in the car, that's literally not helping anything, right? It's okay to wait till you get to the grocery store, get out of your car and put your mask on. Or even do it as you're getting out of your car. But no, you got to wear a mask while you're driving down the street. Like, I'm not sure that's true. I'm not sure that's true. They tried to make it here mandatory here in Phoenix. Absolutely no one wears it correctly. Anyway, why wear a mask under your chin? It's become a fashion statement. Who was it? Was it NBC? No, it was CNN. CNN Politics the other day. Let me get that one up. I want to read that one directly because I was shocked. CNN Politics, where are you? Man, I've tweeted a lot today. I hate when I accidentally bury stuff. It says, they tweeted this out. You put on pants, why not a face mask? Yes, pants and a face mask are exactly the same thing. If you live with your head up your ass. Otherwise, putting something over your face is completely different than putting things on your legs, ass, and genitals. Fucking morons. You put on pants. Why not a mask? Because they're different, dipshit. But not to CNN, man. To CNN, that tweet made sense. That tweet's still up. That tweet is still up. I don't mate and pee with my face. You know, it's amazing. I don't know. These guys talk out of their ass, so I guess it's the same for them. I can't imagine working for CNN and tweeting something like that out, begging people to make fun of me having my head up my ass or talking out of my ass. Because, I mean, you just left it there. It's like you walked in, you said, here's a gift. Make fun of us because we're fucking morons. And sure enough, they're fucking morons. Speaking of which, should we get into Jim Acosta today? Should we get into Jim and Kaylee? I feel like we should. I feel like it's time for Jim and Kaylee. Because, one, I love Kaylee. I think she's wonderful. Excuse me, guys. I love watching her slap Jim Acosta around. I love her beating up on the press in general, but I have a distaste for Jim Acosta because he is such a partisan hack. There's no hiding it. He doesn't even try to hide it. He is just a partisan hack. And now, because of what happened with him getting kicked out of the White House, so he got kicked out of the White House and they had to take him back. He didn't even get kicked out of the White House. He just lost his permanent press pass. And he would have had to fill out a form every day. And that was too much. And since they had to give it back to him, he walks around like he's untouchable. He's a dick. He's a fucking dick. And all he does is go in there to be a fucking dick. Well, today, he had some questions, you guys. He had, I got to check the volume on this. Let me see. That might be a little loud. Let me turn down my volume a touch. There we go. Sorry, guys, producing. Yeah, that's much better. He wanted to talk about the Carpe Donktum video. He has some questions, you guys. Some issues with that video.
Ask you about last night. The president tweeted out some fake videos.
They're real videos. It's just a parody video. What would a fake video even be? Okay, now I'm splitting hairs, but it's just because I don't like this dick. But anyway, I'm sorry.
One of which was labeled manipulated media by Twitter.
Yes, it was labeled manipulated media by Twitter, who saw a parody video. You know what I've never seen on Twitter? I've never seen an SNL skit retweeted and it been labeled manipulated media. I've never seen an Alec Baldwin skit where he's playing the president be retweeted and have that labeled manipulated media. I wonder why. Do you think there's a reason for that? Thank you, Hazmat. Hey, Monk, what's a duck? It won't allow me saying. I'm not sure what you're trying to ask there. Try to ask it in regular chat because you can say other things. One, thank you for the donation. Try asking it in regular chat. It'll let you say things that you're not allowed to say in super chat. And see if it'll say it that way. And I'll be happy to try to answer what you're asking. All right, back to Dickhead here. He just told us that which Twitter labeled manipulated media.
Why is the president sharing fake videos on Twitter about two toddlers who are obviously showing a lot of love for one another? It seems as though he's exploiting children to make some sort of crass political point.
Now, it should be pointed out, the video, I don't have the video up here to show it, but what it is, it's a white kid and a black kid. They're what, toddlers, so 2-3 years oldish. They run towards each other and they give themselves a big hug. And the little white kid, he has like a little truck or something. A little black kid sees it and he takes it and he runs, and the little black kid or the little white kid runs after him, and they're just having fun. Well, what Carpe Donktum did is he took the part where it's just the white kid running after the black kid, and he made it look like a CNN video with the chyron that said, black kid runs from little white racist or something like that. And then it says what actually happened, and then it shows the actual video. And it's just to make the point that CNN lies. Now, CNN, in the original use of this, they were the ones that showed this. They actually played this on air. They weren't in any way trying to manipulate you by using little children. They're not exploiting children at all when they showed it. But Jim here is really worried about the exploitation of children for a crass political message.
Why is he sharing fake videos?
Why is he sharing? You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say because he thought it was fucking funny. That's my best guess.
He was making a point about CNN specifically. He was making a point that CNN has regularly taken him out of context, that in 2019, CNN misleadingly aired a clip from one viewpoint repeatedly to falsely accuse the Covington boys of being, quote, students in MAGA gear harassing a Native American elder.
Oops. Did you forget about that, Jim? They weren't toddlers, so maybe the exploitation of children for a crass political point is okay after a certain age. I mean, I've seen this and Jim doesn't actually address that, but I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt here. Once you get into high school, whether you're 14 or 18, it's okay to use you to make a crass political point and paint you as a fucking racist. But not if you're a toddler. Not if you're a toddler.
That's a harassing video, a misleading video about children that had really grave consequences for their future.
So you're saying it's okay to exploit two toddlers hugging one another on a sidewalk to make some sort of political point?
You see how he went back to the toddlers? He does not address what she just said at all. At all. Absolutely refuses to even acknowledge what she just said. Instead, he just pulled a Kathy Newman. So what you're saying is, Gamer Valine, thank you. I want that dress or top, whatever it is. It's a cute little top on her. I don't like the straight line at the bottom of the circles. That should be like wavy or something, but still. He absolutely ignores the point she just made. She just pointed out, you guys do this shit. It was a fucking play on what you guys do. At least Jim is saying shared. Trump shared it because all yesterday was Trump posted this video. Trump posted this. Like Trump is sitting in his house with fucking Premiere making his own fucking memes. Like he's there in the Oval Office slowly pasting chyrons on the bottom of a video.
As you know, the president has described members of the press as fake news during the course of this administration. When you share fake videos like that, doesn't that make you fake news?
Did anybody spot the flaw with his thinking there? The president has repeatedly said that we're fake news for sharing fake videos. So if the president shares a fake video, doesn't that make him fake news? Is the president a member of the media? I may have missed this. I may have missed it. He may have started the Trump News Foundation or whatever. But is he a reporter?
I think the president was making a satirical point that was quite funny if you go and actually watch the video. I think he was making a satire. The point is it was a play on CNN repeatedly taking the president out of context.
Now, it does go on a little bit. I didn't grab the longer video here because you don't really need to. But, I mean, oh, come on, Monk. You know, Barron is the one memeing. Thank you, Toxic Nightshade. That would be wonderful if it was true. If that was true, I would follow Barron and retweet him because that video was funny. And I just love Jim there. What's funny about two toddlers hugging? Right over his flat fucking head. Hey, Scribbles, when did you get here? Oh, no, this is earlier's chat. I'm like, Scribbles should be in bed. I had the wrong chat open. I never close Lords of the Night chat. Whoops. There we go. I pop out chat, guys, and make it its own new window. And sometimes I forget to close it. Like, where the hell? Anyway. Yeah, Scribe's not here, guys. It's okay. It's okay. Acosta's a spineless bitch. I just love that his whole thing, he just keeps trying to make it about the children. Completely missing the absolute point that's being made. The point is, you guys share fake news. That's what that video was. That video was specifically made to look like a little black kid is being chased by a little white kid and that somebody called it racism. That was the joke. It doesn't matter that it was two little kids. The joke is that CNN falsifies news. And we know for a fact that they do it. We know that they do it. They didn't just do it with Covington. They did it with the Weave girl. They've done it with so many different things where when we get to see the actual footage of what happened, you're like, oh, wow. They're a bunch of lying shitheads. They do it with Trump's words constantly. Just show part of what he said instead of allowing how many times has CNN repeated or had people on their shows that repeat very fine people on both sides? As though that's all that's being said. As though Trump was out there going, Nazis are good. Because that's the implication. That is the implication every time they say it. How many times have they had people on their shows that say Trump has never disavowed the KKK, even though there's fucking video of him doing exactly that? But no, but what about those two toddlers, man? You can't make that point with two toddlers. Well, yeah, actually you can. You take the sweetest, most innocent thing there is, and you point out that CNN would even fuck on that. That they would even lie about something like that. Because would any of you be surprised to see that from CNN? I sure as fuck wouldn't. I'd be like, sounds right. Looks like exactly what they would do. It is exactly what they did in the Covington case. That group of children, those were kids. We're not, this wasn't college students out there. They were high school kids. Painted every one of them as racist. Look at how racist they are. The way they mocked this American Indian war hero. Remember that shit? Now, oh man, you can't use those kids to make a political point like this. What's wrong with you? Dox him, exactly, Keever Dam. There's that video. They took video from when Trump was in the WWF and he was beating up somebody, and the guy he was beating up, they put CNN's logo over his face. Remember that? CNN went and threatened to dox this kid because he made a fucking meme. CNN settled the lawsuit with Nick Sandmann. Nobody knows how much it was for, but the original suit was for $275 million. And they were like, yeah, just pay these guys because we're going to lose. We're going to lose. We absolutely smeared these people. This led to people stalking their fucking high school. There's videos of people just hanging around outside their high school, staring at the place, leading to Kathy Griffin going up there and I want to know the names of these kids. You had people on fucking Twitter who are still on there, I know they are, calling for these kids to be shot. And Twitter ain't do fuck all. But it's all right, man. It's all right, man. We don't fuck with kids, man. It's not okay to fuck with kids, Kaylee. I think that's the absolute best part of this is how much he's just put their toddlers. So are you, Jim. So are you. It's time for your nap and your baba. Go get your binky and your blankie and lay down and watch some Teletubbies and take a nap, you pussy ass motherfucker. God, he is a horrible person. Oh, man. And he's such a partisan hack, man. And they all are. They all are. I saw Brian Stelter tweeted out today about how there was a story because Mike Pence refused to say Black Lives Matter. He was asked, would you say Black Lives Matter? And he goes, first of all, what happened to George Floyd was wrong and should never happen, and all lives matter. And the reporter like, so just, I'm getting this straight. You're refusing to say Black Lives Matter. He goes, all lives matter. So you're refusing to say Black Lives Matter. And Brian Stelter tweeted it out. Ye of the candy van. President or vice president refuses to say Black Lives Matter. And Chris Cillizza, ye of head up his ass. I don't know what else to say about that guy. Retweeted it. It has become the narrative in the country that Black people are different. They can't be treated the same. They have to be treated differently. That's the narrative of Black Lives Matter instead of All Lives Matter. All Lives Matter includes Black people by default. If you think All Lives Matter doesn't include Black lives, then you don't believe Black lives are just like everyone else. That is the new PC. That is the new PC, is that Black people are different than white people and Chinese people and all Asians and Latinos and everyone. They're different. They're just, Black people are different. So is it okay to treat them different? I'm just curious. I need to know the rules here. But if you watch what these guys tweet, it's not like Sean Hannity. No matter what you think of Sean Hannity, guys, at least he is listed as he's not a news guy. He's not listed as a newsman. He's not an editor at CNN like Chris Cillizza is. He's not a host of a political or of a news show like Brian Stelter is. These are listed as news. Stelter's program isn't listed as commentary. This guy, these are their news people, and they are constantly tweeting liberal, anti-Trump bullshit. And then they wonder why people are like, I don't trust these guys. Stelter is a... I think Stelter looks like he owns a candy van. I don't know if he does. He's got "Keep me away from children" written all over his forehead. That's all I'm saying. Do you remember when he cried about COVID? He was so upset about COVID that he laid in bed that night, you guys, and he cried. Thank God the protest came along and people were allowed back out in public again so that Brian doesn't have to cry at night. I can't believe these people are fucking real. Seriously, I cannot believe they're real. And yet there they are. Man. Sean Hannity's not allowed on Sinatra Says. That's fair. I don't have any love for Sean Hannity, but the truth of the matter is he's a pundit. He is not a news guy. You know, they like to point to him when they go, oh, Fox News is so conservative. Like, yeah, in their talking hour, when they talk about the news, not when they're reading the news. CNN can't do a news story without stopping to talk about how horrible Donald Trump is. Stelter looks like the clown from It. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh. Anyway. What the hell? I don't know what that's I'll have to look at that later. I'm going over to see what other things I was going to talk about tonight because I have things, but not all of them are. Oh God, do I want to talk about that right now? Yeah, let's get this one out of the way because it's still kind of related to. This goes back to the Black Lives Matter thing. This moron tweeted out, George W. Bush has a DUI. Dick Cheney has a DUI. Matt Gaetz has a GUI or Gates. I don't know how you say that one. Mike Carpo, I don't know how you say that one either, has a DUI. Beto O'Rourke has a DUI. But Rashard Brooks had a DUI, couldn't get a job and was killed. I love that couldn't get a job. Well, let me finish reading. This country's criminal justice system was built to incarcerate and kill Black and brown Americans. All right. Okay. First of all, unlike Rashard Brooks, as far as I know, George, Dick, Matt, Mike, and Beto didn't wrestle with police officers, steal one of their tasers, run away, and turn around and fire the taser at the police. Now, I could be mistaken. But I feel like we would have heard about that. I think that would have shown up in the news somewhere if George W. Bush had once got pulled over for DUI, took off running after wrestling with police officers and stealing one of their weapons and turned around and fired it at them. I just can't believe during his presidency that would not have come up. More importantly, you cannot judge every police stop by every police stop. They're different. Each encounter is different. Each police officer is different. Each jurisdiction is different. Each state is different. Even if the situation was exactly the same and George Bush was the one who was fighting with those cops in Atlanta the other night, would they have still shot him? I don't know. I honestly don't. If everything were the same, I would imagine yes. Because contrary to popular belief, white people get shot by the police. If you're out there white and thinking you can get away with this shit, don't. You're going to get your ass shot off. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. I just pictured being at a funeral when the preacher says, crapo. Thanks for that. I know. Is it carpo? Crapo? Crap. It's crapo is how it's spelled. How do you say it? Crapo? C-R-A-P-O. Crapo. What am I? It's probably pronounced Steve the way our world runs. Anyway, That's now Smith. That is Mike Smith from now on. Anyhow, what was I talking about? Oh, I love this part. Rayshard Brooks had a DUI, couldn't get a job, and was killed. Like the police were like, all right, we're going to give you a DUI here. You got a job? No, sir, I can't get one. Now I got to be honest. I didn't pay attention to everything said in the video. I don't know what they were saying as he was running away. I don't know if he said, "You got a job," and he yelled, "I can't get one," and then they fired at him. Maybe that's what happened. But I don't remember seeing that. So maybe that's on the body cam footage. Now, what I think they're referring to is that Rayshard Brooks was on a TV special where he talked about because of being in prison, he has trouble getting a job. Blah, blah, blah. It leads him to go back to prison. Actually, breaking the law takes you back to prison, dumbass. Do I think that they need to do something about the parole system? Maybe. I have no problem if you're sentenced to 20 years in jail and they let you out at 15 with you being on parole for 5. That's still part of your sentence. If you can't make it work, then say, hey, guys, I need to go back inside for the rest of it. Don't go out there and commit crimes to make that happen, though. But if you want your freedom, we do the parole thing as a nicety kind of thing. But, I mean, I don't think bringing up the job thing is absolutely asinine. It's as dumb as anything that was written in this tweet. And I don't want to pick on the guy who wrote it because, I mean, this is the kind of shit that's been put out into the media. He doesn't know any better. He's just repeating what he hears. And there's a lot of that going on in these cases. What else we got going on tonight? Oh, God. Miss Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. A reporter tweeted out, the Moundsville Police Department has added a vehicle to the fleet. I'll tell you everything about this MRAP offers and explain how the department gets it for free tonight on WTOV 9. I don't know where WTOV 9 is. Don't much care. But an MRAP, for those who don't know what it is, it's what does it stand for? I forget. Basically, it's so that the vehicle can't be swarmed and mines. It's what is it? Mine repellent. Is it mine repellent? Yeah. Anyway, it's so you can put officers in it and mines won't get hit and it can't be swarmed by protesters. You know, have you seen police cars have been swarmed by protesters and shit these days? It wouldn't happen to these things. There it is. Thank you. Ambush protected. Thank you, P-Dog. Mine resistant, ambush protected. I knew what it meant. I just forgot what exactly it stood for. But this police department got one for free. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said this. Ever notice when we talk about having a healthcare system where people don't pay at the point of service, it's, quote, free stuff is irresponsible and wrong. But when it comes to raining military equipment on undertrained police across the country, it's, hey, don't worry, it's free stuff. You know, if you want to make the point that it's actually not free, go for it. I'm on board. It's not free. The American taxpayers still paid for it. You're right. Is that really the point you're trying to make there, Alexandria? Is that really the point you want to go off on? Because I'm happy to. It's not really free. No, the department got it because of some program or training that they decided to do. And yes, that means that it's not actually free. Just means the department didn't pay for it. The very same way your free healthcare works. It might be free to that person, but everybody else is paying for it. You silly, simple bitch. Yeah, she finally did have her face-to-face debate, you guys. She was ducking it, and then she got so much shit for ducking it, she showed up. And the New York Post said she did really well. I haven't watched it myself, but looking at what they quoted in there, I mean, I guess she did well enough that she'll still win because it's just with her Democratic primary challengers. But it was brought up that the Amazon thing went away. And her answer there was funny because she mentioned that the 25,000 jobs that it was going to bring, those weren't really coming. Besides, this was a local thing and a state thing. I had nothing to do with it. I'm like, well, why does it matter then? Why didn't you just say that? Why didn't you just say I had nothing to do with it rather than trying to shit on it? Look, those jobs weren't really coming here. Really? Really? Because in order for the tax-free status things, well, not tax-free, but tax reduced for as long as they would have had it that way, if it works like most companies, there would have been requirements. A company I used to work for had a deal with the city. They got reduced taxes with the city, but it was contingent on them keeping a certain number of employees working for them. Because that's how it works. Don't worry, you guys. She has a degree in econ. Fucking bitch. How do you be this stupid and still live? But her fans eat it up. They lap it up. Give me some more of that moron pussy. They're like the weirdest simps ever because they don't even like get an OnlyFans from her. They just suck up to that mediocre bar infested crusty pussy because they don't like Trump. Thank you, Gamer Valine. I guess she missed that clause of the 1033 program where the recipients pay shipping. And while I can't imagine Amazon Prime will cover 2 days on an MRAP. Yeah. Well, I mean, even then, that's still not paying for the whole vehicle itself. You know, it's free stuff. Why is it okay that it's free, gamer? Oh man, Jesus, that woman's an idiot. Not gamer. Gamer's a sweetheart. AOC is a fucking idiot. Sorry. I have to be careful. I do that sometimes right after I respond to somebody. Like, that woman's an idiot after I just responded to Gamer Valine. Sorry about that. I did not mean it that way. What else we got going on here? Do I want to talk about that more on? One of my trolls came out today. One of my trolls came out to play. I haven't seen them in a while. This is one of the ones I tell you guys about who their sole reason for being seems to be to prove that I'm a diehard Trump supporter. No matter what I say, it's because I support Trump. Doesn't matter if I'm right. Doesn't matter what happens. And this one had kept his head low for a while. And then he started retweeting me, which is funny. I can always tell when he's feeling insecure. He starts retweeting me for no reason. I've told you guys before, I retweet because it's easier to find things that way. Some people retweet to try to get their audience on board. And I almost felt bad for him for a while because his friends didn't come out more than an hour and a half, 2 hours into it. He's just getting smacked around by me. But he was one of the ones really offended that I would make jokes about how Oklahoma wouldn't require the Republicans to wear their masks at the Donald Trump rally. He's like, oh, they're just trying to save lives. I'm like, well, tell them it's a protest. And he got very upset by that. The protesters wore their masks. And then he said something which was absolutely fucking retarded. He said to me, the racist pigs in blue were a much bigger threat to human lives at the time. Now, you guys know how I feel about COVID. I'm not even going to pretend. I think the numbers are inflated. But let's say the numbers are inflated. Right now, it's about 120,000 people have died, something like that. Let's cut that in half to get rid of any. But Monkey, you think the numbers inflated? We'll cut it in half, 60,000 people. That takes care of any inflation anybody might throw up. Do you know how many cops have died since COVID started? Or sorry, how many people the cops have killed since COVID started? Less than 400. By any measure that's taken, less than 400. And you're telling me, this goes back to those people, protesting right now is a matter of life and death. It's far more important than COVID. All right, let's look at that again. 60,000 versus less than 400. You go back, let's go back 50 years. 50 years. On average, the police kill about 1,000 people a year. That's 50,000 people over 50 years. That's still less than the 60,000 with me taking a huge cut out of what they say has been killed by COVID. You got to add up 50 fucking years for that. How in the ever-loving fuck do you get that it is more important to go out there and protest violence that's killing less than 1,200 people a year, going by the absolute highest numbers, guys? Absolute highest numbers, it's somewhere around 1,200. What is it, like 1,250? So less than 1,300 a year. And for whoever's saying fewer in chat, shut up. That's more important than a disease that, at my low estimation, over 3 months has killed 60,000. To suggest that that's more important, to suggest that fighting this racist police stuff is more important to human lives is fucking retarded. Fucking retarded on a level that, But don't worry, guys. Goalpost got shifted way the fuck down. So yeah, there's that idiot. But let's talk about this idiot too. So Carpe Donktum, he ran a stream today or yesterday. When did he put this out? 9 hours ago. So yeah, today. And this guy called Chris. Sorry if there's any Chris's in the chat. But this moron named Chris said this. Streamlabs and Patreon. Nice to know you guys enable trolls who manipulate and spread fake political content. Seems like it doesn't reflect super positively on your brand. I'm like, what? He's telling Patreon and Streamlabs on Dunktum. He's going to tell their mom. He's going to talk to the manager, you guys. Because, and this isn't about what was said in the stream. No. This was because of the video from yesterday that CNN was all upset about, that Jim Acosta was losing his mind over those poor toddlers. Thinks that he should be deplatformed, you guys, over that. Gamer Bleen, thank you. It's okay. I don't need to finish college. I'm already smarter than AOC fan base, and I have a tiny girl brain. Your lady crowd knows who you meant. I appreciate that, Gamer. I do occasionally do that, though. I don't catch myself, and I forget to change subjects when I especially, and I don't mean this. I appreciate donations more than I can say, but donations are where I usually end up doing that because I'm on a subject and then I go to a donation and then I go back to my subject without mentioning that I'm going back to my subject. So that was my mistake, and I apologize, but I appreciate that you knew what I meant. Anyway, so Karen here, somebody says to him, some 54 follower Karen doesn't understand satire and is trying to speak to the manager. To which our old buddy Chris says, Karen is our thing. Seems like this is a great opportunity for the right to find a name for whiny leftists. You're welcome for this idea. I'm not kidding. This man just claimed Karen for the lefties. Lefties invented Karen, you guys. It's their word. You can't use it. Seal, thank you so much, who says, check your Twitter DMs. Since I'm over here, I'll look. What the hell is this? Oh, I'll take a look at that in a second. But yeah, they're claiming Karen. You can't say it if you're a right winger. Can't say it if you're a right winger. Shut up, Karen. I just love that. Not only did he go Karen, then he claimed it as his own. It's mine. You can't call me that. How dare you? How dare you? Oh, God. You went full Karen there. Let's say, even though it's not true, that the left came up with Karen. You don't own it. It's on the internet. Trust me, I'm fighting the boogaloo argument right now. There's no stopping it. You can try. You're a Karen. You can't call me that. I own it. You have to think of a different word. Well, the problem is the different words we would use for you we're not allowed to say because your Karen ass will go tell Twitter on me. For fuck's sake. You're going to run and tell them that I called you a cunt because that's what you really are. You want to stop somebody's ability to make money because they made a joke you don't like. Yeah, that's not cool. Video alone won't make things substantially different for Black people resisting. What? How surveillance has always reinforced racism is the article from Wired. And this is what they tweeted out. Quote, video alone doesn't make things substantially different for Black people resisting surveillance or white supremacy, ... And we're sharing them in spaces like Instagram. We're sharing them in spaces that can't erase them at any moment. What the fuck are you talking about? Scientist and author Simone Brown. Why do I know that name? Why? Sorry, it says sociologist, not scientist. Let's not make that fucking mistake. Why do I know her? I got to look her up. What else does this idiot say? Dark Matters. I've seen her somewhere. I can't remember why, but anyway, yeah, she's apparently writing about in the past couple of weeks, tech companies appear to suddenly care about racism. How are you? Oh, Wired. You're so funny. How are you thinking through this moment and how it relates to some of what you wrote about in Dark Matters as it relates to surveillance? In the book, I looked at branding and the commodification of Blackness by trying to... Oh, that's why, because I know that book. By trying to historicize, is that a fucking word? The branding of enslaved people, marketing and marking them as sellable. I was also trying to extend that to thinking about how biometrics are sold through branding of Blackness. We can extend it to Blackout Tuesday and how it became a branding opportunity for these companies. I don't give a fuck. She's an idiot. Thank you. Always lost on nothing else. Donation 144. If not Karen, how about Eugene? Some have some bananas. Thank you very much. Karen works fine for me. And if he gets upset about it and wants to run and tell somebody, that just makes him more of a Karen. Historicize is not a word. I didn't think it was, but she used it. And, I'm of the impression, okay, I don't want to say of the impression. I occasionally around here make up my own words. So I can't judge too harshly on that one. I really can't. That would be entirely hypocritical of me. But it's still not a word. These companies capitalizing on the BLM movement, ironic. Indeed, P-Dog. That was a part. It seems that these tech companies suddenly care. Because you're telling them they have to. They don't actually care. Just like we need to revisit something from last night. Hey, Jack, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Oh, wonderful. Living the dream,
Awesome.
I was just about to talk about Nancy Pelosi.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Today, well, Wired asked Simone, what's her fuck? I forgot her name already. a writer who wrote the book Dark Matter, or Dark Matters. The beginning of their question was, tech companies suddenly seem to care about Black issues or something to that effect. And it made me laugh when I read it because, well, they don't actually care. Seem to care was actually the perfect way to say it because they don't actually care. Nancy Pelosi today tweeted out about how yesterday she had those 4 portraits of Confederate speakers of the House removed, or speakers of the House with Confederate ties, or whatever the fuck it actually is. And it just, I don't understand why people don't understand that this is just pandering. It's clearly pandering. Nancy Pelosi has not only been the Speaker of the House for more than a year now, it's her second run as Speaker of the House. She was Speaker of the House way back in 2008. That's a true story. And she never removed these. That's how offensive they were to her. She never removed them until yesterday. You know why? Because she wants it to seem like she gives a fuck. Not that she actually does. She wants it to seem like she does.
Well, I think you're forgetting one key thing. Time didn't start until Trump was elected.
I get you, but that still doesn't explain the last year that she hasn't done it.
That's a hate fact.
Yeah, seems to be. I mean, this is such blatant pandering. A lot of people got it when they wore those. Was it a Kente cloth? Is that how you say it? I know it's Kente. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right.
It's just called the slave trader scarf.
The slave trader scarf. A lot of people made fun of the Congress for doing that, not only because it is linked to the slave trade, but because it was such blatant pandering. But they don't get that same thing when it's taking down 4 people with Confederate ties that she did not give a fuck about for how long has that bitch been in Congress? Decades?
Yeah, easily.
Hasn't cared.
Well, like somebody pointed out, they didn't take Senator Byrd down.
Well, true. Well, that's Hillary's mentor. Never forget that. That's her mentor. Okay. The last known member of Congress to have been in the fucking Ku Klux Klan. Hillary's mentor. True story. How are you tonight, Jack?
Oh, I'm all right. I would have been here sooner, but I was over watching MST3K with Frosted and Fellows.
Oh,
The
cool.
Moonshock and Terry were over there. That's a good time.
Oh, like I said, I'm happy whenever you can show up, my friend.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. Sorry I was late. I didn't realize you were going so soon.
Oh, you're fine. Why does it say BR or BCR instead of Bad Comic Reviews?
I just shortened it.
Huh. Interesting.
I'm lazy.
It wasn't politically advantageous until yesterday. Adam, you're being way too literal. You're right, but you're being way too on the nose there. We have to come up with reasons why it makes sense for her to be a pandering cunt.
Yeah, no shit.
They don't exist. The real reasons for it don't exist. It is literally because she's a pandering cunt.
Well, absolutely. This is all pandering and showmanship. They're like, please don't target us or dig into our past.
Yeah, you don't want to do that because then you'll be like, oh, wait, I got to stop calling Trump a racist because these people are far more racist.
Yeah.
Do you think there's going to be problems at his rally tomorrow?
I hope not. I know the mayor, I don't know if you saw it, tried to impose a curfew so that people couldn't line up. And then he lifted it because there's so much backlash. But I think there'll be some agitators out there. Hopefully Secret Service is out in force. Because I won't put it past a lot of these leftist Antifa types to go out there and try and start a problem.
What the hell is this? Oh. That's... What? Statement of U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Berman on announcement by Attorney General Barr. I learned in a press release from the Attorney General tonight that I was stepping down as United States Attorney. I have not resigned and have no intentions of resigning my position, to which I was appointed by the judges of the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. I will not step down when a presidentially appointed nominee is confirmed by the Senate. Or I will step down. Until then, our investigation will move forward without delay or interruption. I cherish every day that I work with the men and women of this office to pursue justice without fear or favor, and intend to ensure that this office's important cases continue unimpeded.
Who was this?
U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Berman.
I don't know who that is.
He's some attorney with the Southern District of New York.
Oh. Well, I wonder what he got caught doing.
Yeah. If Barr announced that he was stepping down, that's interesting that he would come out and say that.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
Wouldn't it be funny if Barr did that as kind of a courtesy to him, and it turns out like he's under some horrible indictment? Like he's indicted, like they have an indictment coming for kiddie porn, and he's like, I'm not stepping down. Oh, shit. I don't know. That'll make me laugh.
It was not much surprises me. This year's been nuts.
Yeah. Is he the one going after Trump's taxes? It might be. I'm not sure which guy that is. It's coming.
Oh, sorry.
It's coming out of the Southern District of New York, so probably or possibly.
Yeah, he might have crossed some kind of ethical boundary or something.
Mm-hmm.
Done some no stuff.
Yeah, this could have been a nice way to say, we're firing you and saving him face.
And he's like, nuh-uh.
Yeah. Excuse me, this is the guy who was trying to violate Trump's taxes because of potato. Yeah. I'm very curious because the Supreme Court should be ruling on that. I can't wait to see how that turns out.
It's a coin toss these days. Depends how Roberts feels that day.
Oh, he's such a douche. He is such a douche.
Fucking sellout, man.
You know, there's some cases where he's right. He's spot on. I've read his opinions and I'm like, yes, exactly. And then I read that one yesterday. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, he's just making shit up. It's about legacy with him, I think. I think we talked about this the other night.
Yeah, we talked about it a bit yesterday, and maybe that's what it is. But, oh, my God, that's not good for the country.
No, it's really not. And I don't think he really thought out the long-term ramifications of what he's doing. Or if he even cares, for that matter.
The inner city hotel that turned into a prison for refugees. Ha! This is in Australia, apparently. Every room in the hotel is booked, but the guests are not allowed to leave.
Is it called Hotel California?
It should be, but I don't think so.
Boo.
Every day the men you know what? I love that this is a major CNN article, but on Twitter, they don't mention that it's an Australian. Oh, they do right there near the bottom. I get it. Okay. Play up that racism part first, because they show a sign that says no crime, 7 years in detention. Well, no crime, but do you really belong there?
Yeah, it's if you're a refugee or you're breaking in, you're kind of at the whims of the country you're in.
Yep. Go back home and be as free as you need to be.
As free as you can be.
Oh my God. Anyhow. So what else did I have to talk about this evening? Nope. We already talked about those. Got into an argument with an idiot Jack. That was so much fun. And his two idiot sidekicks.
Yeah, those guys were kind of dumb. They clearly didn't care what you actually said.
No.
But they were all about giving you shit for nothing.
No, I've actually gone through everything that I meant to.
Did you see the video of that guy trying to start shit with the old man on the bike?
Oh yeah, I did. And he's like, "What's your problem?"
Right? So okay, dude. What? You get start something? No, nobody wants to start anything with you. Nobody cares.
Oh, okay. This is why that thing's happening with Barr. Attorney General William Barr has released the following statement. I'm pleased to announce that President Trump intends to nominate Jay Clayton, currently the chairman of Securities and Exchange Commission, to serve as the next United States attorney for the Southern District of New York. For the past 3 years, Jay has been blah, blah, blah. On my recommendation, the president has appointed Craig Carpenito, currently United States District of New Jersey, to serve as acting United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, while the Senate is considering Jay Clayton. This appointment will be effective July 3rd, and Craig will work closely with the outgoing United States Attorney to ensure a smooth transition. Finally, I thank Jeff Berman, who is stepping down after 2.5 years of service for the Southern District of New York. With tenacity and savvy, Jeff has done an excellent job leading one of our nation's most significant attorney general's offices. You're being fired, dude.
Yeah, you're totally being fired. That's the government way of saying doors over there. Don't let it hit your ass.
Yeah, and if unless I don't know, maybe there's something different with the Southern District of New York attorneys like that, the U.S. attorneys. But if it's like most of the administration, you get to work there to July 3rd, dude, and then you're out. It doesn't matter if the Senate has confirmed somebody or not. It's not like you can come in and go, no, I still work here.
I could
no,
see
you
some
don't.
of these ass clowns trying, though. They're lifers. No.
Yeah, you don't get to just say, I still work here. That's not how getting fired works.
No, you can't fire me. I refuse to leave. Whatever. Fucking
It's kind of funny.
These people are dumb.
2 weeks notice. Yeah. You were fired, man. You're stepping down whether you intend to step down or not. But no, I did see that video of the old man getting pushed or not pushed, yelled at. That guy was very hostile. He starts out the thing like, what do you say? Something like to the effect of, don't start shit with me. I'm from LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'm sorry, sir. Did you have a point in there?
there's a lot of pussies from LA.
Yeah.
I love people who tell, I'm from Jersey, bitch. I'm from Texas. I give two fucks where you're from. Where you're from does not make you a badass. There's a lot of pussies where you live. I guarantee it.
Oh, so you're not from around here, so that means you don't have any friends nearby. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, he hints in the video. I mean, he actually says it repeatedly that the guy had said that he wanted to knock him out or something. I don't know if that's true because it's another one of those videos where it's supposedly done before the video starts, and I don't trust those.
No, and the way the older guy's describing it, the guy was looking for a fight. He was walking with his arms out, like his elbows out, and tried to shove the guy off the bike so it looked like he started something.
Yeah, because he even asked him, why are you walking with your arms out? Because people need to get through here. Not like that, you don't.
No, don't be a fucking dick. It's a guy on a bike with his dogs. You're obviously in an upper class area. You should expect that sort of shit. Just walk around, dude. Who cares? It's not like you're in a wheelchair or had your kids with you or something like that. Shut the fuck up. Stop trying to start shit.
Well, there was that one. What was the retailer where that guy was getting his ass beat? And according to the video that you watch him getting his ass beat, he supposedly dropped an N-bomb.
Yeah, that's what the dude that recorded it said. I'm not buying that. That guy put up no resistance, and he was apologizing like crazy for something. I don't think he said the N-bomb. Because that dude that was beating the shit out of him dropped the N-word like 4 times.
The story we read on Lords of the Night tonight says that they can't find any evidence of this. They've checked all of their footage and stuff, and that this guy did nothing wrong.
Yeah,
and
I sent that article in.
Yeah, that's right. It was from you. And that supposedly this guy was being waited on by that guy, and then it's over, and he turns around and gets on his phone and supposedly drops an N-bomb on his phone.
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
Neither am I.
Even racists don't do that shit.
No.
Because you're going to end up in a fight. And obviously this guy had a friend with him at least, because the friend was recording. So that's bullshit. Plus that dude was huge. So that clerk, he didn't look like he would stand up in a fight, compared to that giant guy that was beating the shit out of him. So I think that's bullshit. It was somebody looking for a reason to pop somebody to try and stage a hate crime so they could get backpats.
Hazmat, thank you. Do you know who I am? I'm from Mexico, even though CJNG, what does that mean? Scared me, and I mow your lawn. I am Jesus. I still say there needs to be a Jesus's lawn service with the tagline, "You need Jesus." Y'all need Jesus.
Y'all need Jesus. Yeah, that would be pretty funny.
That would be awesome. I should copyright that shit.
Your lawn is my cross to bear. Yeah, but like Evolve said, even if he had said a racial slur, that's no reason to beat him up.
Look, if somebody calls you a racial slur and you pop them in the mouth once, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, we have to live in a civilized world, and if you're granted, if somebody did that, I would understand it, but it's not something we should encourage people to do.
I still say, we talked about this the other day. Somebody walks up to you. We'll use me. I'm Irish, and you can get away with our slurs. So somebody walks up to me and calls me a dirty Mick, and I pop them in the mouth, and they throw me in jail for a night, and then it's all done. The end. What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
if you watch these videos where this kind of stuff, they will beat the absolute fuck out of somebody. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just pop them in the mouth once.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it's every time I was called a cracker and punched somebody, I'd be tired all of the time.
Yeah, but if you were able to hit them and it stopped everything, you wouldn't be called cracker very much.
Yeah, that's probably true. I don't know. I just think it was overkill what happened. I think the guy started a fight. Maybe he thought the guy said something, but he's beating the shit out of him for, at best, a minimal reason. Yeah,
you don't see. That's not, again, pop in the mouth. Yeah, and Evolved Potato, there's a difference between one punch and beating a man. I agree. And I think one punch is okay sometimes. I think sometimes you learn a pop in the mouth. But I come from a time when we weren't pussies, so.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I think this shit's getting a little ridiculous, and people are looking for reasons to start trouble for internet PP touches.
Joseph says, a dirty Mick isn't really an Irish insult, is it? Yeah, actually it is.
Yeah, but see, the Irish don't give a fuck.
We just don't care.
All right, whatever.
All right, fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't fight over words. Well, good for you. There are things that you could say to me that I would hit you for. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I think most people are like that, but it kind of depends on personality. Yeah, dueling should be brought back.
Joseph says maybe in America. Well, yeah. I don't know overseas. I don't know if that's considered an insult to Irish over there or not. I'm going by my Irish ancestry. I am American, but I have the Irish. If you want to go with my other ancestry, call me a dirty redskin. You know,
I just think potato.
I'm allowed to use that slur. I am, unlike Miss Warren, I have Indian blood in me and can prove it. I might look white as fuck, just like America. The white in me conquered the Indian, but
see, whenever I hear redskin, I just think of potatoes.
I think of football.
Well, yeah, that too.
That's the only. Do you know how long it took me to understand that redskin was an Indian on their helmet? I didn't even pay attention to that. It was just their name.
No, because normal people don't care and they don't see it through that fucking lens. This always looking for offense crap is tiresome.
There's so many ways I could be offended, Jack. I'm a cripple now, so that's a wonderful one to have.
Yeah, that's true.
I always get the urge to yell at people who are parking in a handicap spot when I don't see a sticker. Like, damn you! Actually, I don't. I don't give a fuck. I've always been under the. I've always said that I think the handicapped people should have to park further out because most of them have wheelchairs.
Right?
It's a lot easier for them to wheel than it is for me to walk, especially these days. I think it should be based on what kind of handicap you have. Like me, it's hard for me to walk, so I should be right next to the door. If you roll your ass around, especially if it's motorized, fuck you. You can park out there.
Yeah, I think if you want to be treated like everybody else, park like everyone else.
Yeah.
Just make all the parking spots a little bigger if you need to. I don't give a shit about that. You don't get special privileges.
And I'm crippled, so I can say it. Fuck y'all. Hazmat, thank you so much. Also, by the way, KYS, keeping you safe. Safe?
Keeping you saved.
Saved? That works too.
I'm guessing.
Excuse me. I'm wondering when the outrage will burn itself out as more and more people just can't give a fuck. I think we're getting there quickly. More quickly this time than we did with Ferguson, actually.
Well, they're burning more shit down now.
It got a lot more intense this time.
Yeah, because it's better organized than the rioters at Ferguson. At least that looked a little bit more organic. This looks staged as fuck.
Night, P-Dog.
Have a good one, man.
You also still have COVID around?
Yeah.
So there's plus the election is coming up. So you have all of these things there's other things to think about. I think they they overplayed their hand.
It's not really working out like they thought it would. I think the organizers of a lot of these riots were thinking that it would make Trump look weak, and it hasn't. It hasn't really seemed to affect him too much.
Almost like it was planned and prepped for. Oh, Antifa actually said it was prepped for. We've been preparing 3 years for this.
They've just been looking for an excuse, the right opportunity.
To paraphrase Razor Fist, the commies are surprisingly playing all of the cards. Well, yeah.
Well, they tend to do that sort of thing, and sometimes it works for them, but I don't know if it is now or not.
I have to push back some on the handicap. That distance at the store can be the difference from being able to climb the steps to my place. Like I said, are you in a wheelchair? That's different. Now, I know Jack said you park anywhere. I'm actually kind of with Jack on that. Get a rope. Pull yourself up. I'm handicapped. I can make these jokes. Thank you, Drew. Trump rally tomorrow is going to be lit. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I hope that he's safe because I could see somebody doing something dumb.
Kevin says, shut up. Communism will work this time. Go sit in the corner. Stop it. How dare you?
Speaking of communism, if you'd like to redistribute some of your wealth to us.
Indeed. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and please consider donating money to Jack or myself. Throw some money at Jack. He's awesome. And go check out his channels. We were talking about this last night. Jack has channels, you guys.
Yeah, if you haven't subscribed, you should because they're pretty decent. Drop links.
I think I'm still subscribed to your laundry one.
Oh, my regular channel. Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you and say I've watched it any time recently.
No, I haven't done anything with it in a long time. We've been focusing on the successful ones.
Thank you, Gamer Valine. Freddie Gray, they didn't touch Little Italy or Greektown. The organization there was avoiding the parts that will make people disappear. All right.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck with the mafia territories.
You got to be careful with that part.
Yeah. Well, some of these people are very arrogant, so it wouldn't surprise me. I was watching one of the Portland streams the other night. I don't know, 4 nights ago. And they were trying to build an autonomous zone over by the mayor's house, that Wheeler guy. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see more of this crap popping up, which is what happened in the Spanish Civil War. So it wasn't organized like our Civil War was. It was little pockets of territory being claimed and expanding and contracting. It's very interesting parallel if you ever get a chance to look that up.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that one. I think it's already on the decline for people giving a shit. Remember, the big story of today was CNN being offended about that video from yesterday.
That's CNN's full of idiots.
Nobody cared about Black Lives Matter today, other than of course, Pence being asked about it, which we did talk about. Jack, did you see that? Pence was asked if he would say Black Lives Matter, and he said that George Floyd shouldn't have died the way he did. That should never happen. All lives matter. But will you say Black Lives Matter? All lives matter. So you're saying you won't say Black Lives Matter? Like, oh dear fuck.
Oh, they're gonna push. That's the 2 minutes of shame kind of thing.
Yeah, they're trying the shame thing real hard, and they're trying to compel speech. I do not agree with compelled speech, and if you want to try to shame me into saying something, kiss my whole ass.
Yeah, because compelled speech means nothing because you're forcing it, and that's why I like watching the GIs give, those forced statements when they were prisoners of the Viet Cong. They tortured it out of them. It doesn't mean anything.
Well, it's just happenstance that I watched this yesterday. The show House.
Yeah.
It happened to be on when I was upstairs having dinner with Lady Monkey, and it was the episode after. Have you watched a lot of House?
I've seen a fair number of them.
I can't remember if it's season 2 or 3, where a police officer comes in, and he doesn't realize it's a cop, but a cop comes into the clinic and he annoys House, so House leaves him standing there with a thermometer up his ass. And real quick, Snubber, thank you. A country's VP should not put one race above another. Exactly. It's fucking weird. It's racist. Anyway, thank you for the donation. But anyway,
the nuts.
What's that?
The nuts is going to bed.
Oh, good night, nuts. The very next episode, Cuddy, the woman who runs the hospital, guys, puts House and this guy into the same room because House is refusing to apologize. And guy says, "I'm here for an apology," and he goes, "It'd be forced." And he goes, "I know." He goes, "Doesn't that take the feeling out of it?" And he goes, "It does. That's not what it's about. It's about humiliating you."
Yeah.
And that's what this compelled speech is about. It's not about actually apologizing for any racism that's ever existed. It's about you humiliating yourself.
I would even go so far as to say dehumanizing.
Yeah. Gamer Bleen, thank you. Correction, tortured, or were they John McCain? Who? What did I just miss there? And thank you, Ex-Bubba Hotep. Hope everyone's day is going better than mine. Just had a guy OD at my job. Jesus fuck, dude.
Right?
Man.
Hope your day gets better. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's fucked up, man. I hope the guy's okay. Because you can OD and not die, and that's what if he did die, don't tell me, Bubba. I'm going with the notion that he's okay. He recovered. He's going to be smoking weed tomorrow. The cop guy was a dick. Yeah, House was too, but the cop guy tried to frame him. Well, not really. I mean,
so he's the one that sent him to the nut house?
Somebody said he was the one that sent him to the nut house in season 9. I don't remember that. Season 9 I didn't really care for, so I didn't watch much of it again. I don't think I've ever seen a second or one of those episodes, except for the very last one, over again. So, but in that season, I mean, the cop was actually right. He really, you might not like it, but House is absolutely an addict. He absolutely was stealing drugs, and I mean, he was if that was your doctor and it was found out what he was doing, he'd go to jail for it. So, the cop overstepped. I mean, that's an interpretation. The worst that the cop did was pull him over. But even then, he admits he was speeding. So pulling him over was fine. He did have drugs on him, which he said he had a prescription for, but he had a bunch of them with him. Look, I don't like that cop. I hated that cop. I hate that whole storyline, but he was still right. The only reason House got off is because everyone lied for him. That's the only reason. Up to and including when he goes into rehab and there's a guy in there still feeding him drugs. House was not the good guy of that situation. He really wasn't. He's still more likable than that cop was, though. What do you call a building with lycanthropy? Is that how you say that?
Lycanthropy.
Lycanthropy. A warehouse. Thank you. That's because everyone lies. No, everyone does lie, but they seriously lied to protect his ass. Wilson lied when the cop showed him. Believe me, I just watched this again yesterday. The cop shows him prescriptions that were supposedly from him, and it's not his signature. And you see it in his face that he realizes it's not my signature. And he fucking lied. Anyhow, not to go back into House. I love House. It's a great show. And I hated that storyline. I hated the storyline with the guy who just gives $100 million to the hospital and he tries to change House. I don't like either of those storylines. They're both stupid.
They were reaching by that point in the series.
Yeah, they were trying to find something and for a B plot to the whole, and you didn't need a B plot to it. You could have made it about the interpersonal relationships rather than giving. I didn't like the lady chick that they brought in either, his past love.
Yeah, that was dumb.
That's a stupid shit. I don't need all that, man. Yo, Monkey, have you played Mafia 3? No, I own it. I own Mafia 1, 2, and 3, I believe. And no, I haven't played them. There's a lot of games that come on the Steam sale, Jack, and it's not my fault. It's not my fault. My finger reacts before I can stop it. And yes, I realize you have to click at least 3 different buttons to buy a game, but it's not my fault. It reacts before I can.
Uh-huh. Right.
I want to play all of them because they're GTA clones, and some GTA clones are kind of fun. But yeah, I just haven't got around to it. Will I ever? I don't know. Mom has been on painkillers for so long she just can't just quite cold turkey. Cold turkey, no matter how long you've been on, opioids is hard.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know. Even the minor ones I was on, codeine is a minor opioid. And I was on it for like a year, Jack. And it's like, okay, we're done with it because it's not working. It wasn't doing anything for me. And that is one of the worst weekends of my life.
I bet.
There is physical pain, you guys. Actual physical pain that comes with that shit. And I'd heard it described before, Jack, and I never, discounted it. I'm like, I believe. Oh, I had no idea. I had no idea. And the people who actually get off that stuff, much respect. Not as much respect as I have people who didn't get on it in the first place. I mean recreational, of course. If you've been prescribed it for real reason. I know somebody who's been prescribed opioids for a long time who literally has no pain. They just go lie to their doctor, and the doctor's like, all right.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's a true story. And I know, and that person I know for a fact is giving those to other people because she doesn't really need them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Uh-huh. But the joys of Vicodin, my friend.
Yeah, I've had a boss that was like that. He really liked little Vikes, as he called them.
Lindsay says, why do you think I'm an advocate for weed? I think it's a better and much safer alternative to opioids. I'm an advocate for weed because, again, if alcohol is legal, I don't see why weed isn't. But I can see the argument. I can see the argument is it for a pain I don't know about pain reliever, Jack. Most people I know, it's not so much that it relieves their pain. It's just they don't give a fuck anymore. But that's the way it is with a lot of pain medicines. It just makes people high, so they don't care. I was offered controlled meds for my headache. Said no, thank you. I don't want to risk addiction. Good for you. That's what I did with this. If I would have realized that codeine was an opioid, I would have stopped that a long time ago. I told my doctor specifically I did not want any opioids at all. Don't give them to me. He said, "Oh, we'll just do Tylenol 4." I didn't realize that he was saying I'm still giving it to you because it's such a low dose. People don't think of it that way. But don't take that shit. It's bad for you. Yeah, but aren't you libertarian in the idea of that it shouldn't be a crime? Which part? Oh, are you talking to somebody else? I'm confused by that comment. That's why I disowned my own mother. She picked the pills over her kids. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Jesus, my wife has 2 full containers of MS Cotton. Nice down payment for a truck there if we ever sold them. Cameron, thank you. When you quit, your deadened pain receptors come back to life all at once. It's been a year since I had Perk 30, and I feel better than ever. Yeah, man. I feel bad for people who are hooked on that shit. I really do. And then you get into the synthetics, and you're going, you know what? I might even die from this because those synthetics are a lot of the overdoses you hear about. What is it? 40-some thousand a year, something like that. A lot of the opioid ones are from the synthetics. Good job there, modern medicine. Ah, man. I'm on hydrocodone, 10 milligrams on an as-needed basis. I may go 3 weeks not needing one, then 3 days or 3 a day for a week. I see that. For me, it's not worth the risk, man. Especially not after that withdrawal, man. That sucked.
Well, I'm sure.
Vicodin ain't shit compared to perks. You name it, I've been on it. And all those ones ever did for me. Anything stronger than the Tylenol 4 just made me go to sleep, man. After my first surgery, they gave me a gigantic bottle of Vicodin, man. That thing had to have 150 pills in it. It was just fucking huge. I took 3.
Wow.
Yeah. And not because I'm that badass. No, it's not that. It's every time I took one, it was it put me to sleep. And so there were 2 times that I took it for the actual pain. And then one time I couldn't sleep because of the pain. So I took one because I knew it put me to sleep. And then the rest of that bottle got flushed down the toilet. And we have a septic tank, so it's probably infecting my yard still.
Your yard is like, whoa, man.
The fucking gophers got high as shit.
They didn't care about anything for 6 months.
And the one that walked with a limp became a doctor. You know how shocked I was that it turned out that Hugh Laurie didn't even have a limp?
That he's British?
The British thing came as a surprise, but I had seen him in Friends, so it made sense to me. I'm like, oh, yeah, he did when he was on. He's in the episode of Friends when they go to England to get married. And when Rachel flies over there to stop the wedding, he sits next to her. Great episode, and he's wonderful in it, as he is in everything. So I'd seen that before. But I'm watching House, and there's where they did some drug therapy for him, and he was able to run. I'm like, wait, how's that motherfucker running? He can barely walk. Yeah. And then you read the stuff about it, like people got mad at him because he wasn't even using the cane on the right side. And they worked that into the show at one point. One of his physical therapists tells him he's using it wrong.
Nice.
Yeah.
I remember him from Laurie and Fry and when he was on Blackadder.
Lori and Fry is great.
Yeah. I'm sure that show's censored by now.
I didn't discover that until much later. I think House was even over by then, because I didn't realize Hugh Laurie was a comedian.
Oh, yeah.
He did a great job on that Friends thing, but he was reading lines. So, but then I was looking him up online because I knew he was he can actually sing and play guitar, and all the instruments you see him play in the show, he actually plays.
Yeah, he's got some music albums out.
Yeah. And so I was actually looking up his music and came across that, and it was fucking amazing. They're funny as shit. It's old British humor, man. I've been a ninja smoker for 25 years. Oh, I'm guessing that doesn't mean secretly smokes and nobody sees them. That means that's some reference, isn't it? That's some shit my boomer brain's not going to grasp.
He is a thespian. The man is a very talented actor. A really good one. He should be in more stuff.
Talented actor, great musician. He can actually really play, guys. Go look up just Hugh Laurie on YouTube. There's lots of great stuff from him. But if you've only ever seen him in House, it does take a little bit of getting used to when you hear his British accent and everything.
Yeah, because he's very British.
Very British, man. To the point is, you ever notice British people's mouths move funny?
Yeah, all the time.
When they're pronouncing words, they like overpronounce, and it's weird. And I notice it with British people the most. And he does that when he's speaking British. Like, stop it. You look weird. And I'm wondering if maybe that's where the accents come from. Thanks for going with me on that.
I don't know. I don't know how their accents are formed.
Inbreeding.
Oh.
Check out his albums on Amazon. He does really great stuff. I'm cheap, so I watch it on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff that I watch on YouTube that I will go buy the songs, but I buy it individually. I don't buy whole albums. Because I grew up when you had to buy whole albums for one goddamn song. And the worst part of that was when you get a cassette tape and they put it in the middle of the fucking tape. You know why we bought this shit.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Put that at the beginning so we can just rewind.
No,
Stop.
You will learn to love every song between start and when your one song comes on.
It was always great when you're fast forwarding to hear it and you'd stop the fast forward and it was right where it needed to be.
Yeah, it was because it was rare. You have a question in chat. Does this channel cover MGTOW?
Occasionally. I have before. I have a series I did on MGTOW.
We do objectify women.
I do. Who asked it?
UN.
Oh, there we go. I have mixed feelings on MGTOW. I understand their complaints. I think the ones who aren't, what's what I'm looking for here, Jack? Insane are fine. I understand somebody who's like, I don't want to get married. If you're a man these days and you're like, I don't want to get married, I'm like, I understand.
That's just smart. I like all my stuff.
But when you get to the ones who are like, I want to watch society burn, like, what? It's the fourth stage of MGTOW, Jack.
Yeah, I know. It's a bitterness because you didn't get to touch the boobies.
You didn't get to touch them boobies.
Check the side chat.
I will. I even understand the ones who don't want to cohabitate because of the way the laws work in so many places where it's like, well, you lived together for a while. You might as well have been married. She gets half your shit. Like,
Yeah. I'd avoid California if you're MGTOW.
Yeah.
Not like their divorce laws.
Oh, go ahead. That's fine.
Okay.
So do I cover it? We talk about it from time to time. It comes up, and I'm happy to talk about it, but I'm not for or against it. I think some people take it too far, and I understand the complaints of the others. I think they get a bad rap from people who've only heard and I was one of them, I'll be honest, the people who've only heard the online weirdos. Like when I did my first one, it was on Angry MGTOW, and people came in, go watch Sandman if you want to see a real MGTOW. So I went and watched Sandman.
If you were to see a real sad loser.
And I was like, wait, this is your hero? that dude's fucking insane.
Oh, that's an understatement. Yeah, you're lowballing that one.
Expo Hotep, thank you. When you get to hypnotic vag juices, it has gone too far. You know what? I do have to say this about that video. That video came out on April 1st of that year, and there's people who claim that it was a joke.
No.
I don't think that's true. I haven't seen Sandman actually say that, at least last time I had looked, which is, by the way, more than a year or two ago at this point. But let's say that's a joke. Listen to the rest of what he says. Let's say the whole buttery vag smell is all a joke. This is the guy who lists the fourth stage of his movement as moving into the woods and just letting society burn down.
Being a hermit. It's like ultimate nirvana for McDonald's. So
I'm like, what in the absolute fuck are you talking about? Pincalo, my friend, how you been?
I'm peppy. How are you feeling this morning, my friend?
I'm less peppy, but happy.
I'm annoyed as shit because Discord didn't work, so I couldn't go onto the cream stream, but it's an interesting birthday morning.
Is it your
Don't
birthday?
sing. Yeah, don't sing.
Happy birthday
goddammit.
to you.
Well, thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
Well, thank you, sir.
Happy birthday, dear Pincalo.
You are a good man for doing this.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, fellas.
You
Happy
know the
birthday,
rules.
sir. Yeah, one, happy birthday. I hope you have a great day. Really, really do. And two, you can't tell me not to sing.
I know, but shit, it's weird. I'm going to kill the cat.
Why? The cat's singing too.
That is a fucking cat. He does this all night. All night. But there's nothing I can do. He's just old and annoying. What's up
Midnight
there?
says, happy birthday. I'm sorry, you're Canadian.
That's funny. Yes, coffee, please. Here,
Where's your
cup.
mug?
Wife, bring coffee.
Hi, Blind.
She's gonna
The
beat
monkey
you.
says hi, and so does
Hi.
Jack.
Oh, hey guys.
How you doing?
They say, how you doing?
I'm wide the fuck away.
Walking away with that nice bum in those short shorts.
What are you guys doing up at this hour? Is this normal for you?
Friday nights we do the cream stream for Irate Prostate, but I haven't been on lately because I just haven't had the nerve to stream anywhere. So I've just been gaming lately. Like I spent too much time playing that City Skylines game.
Oh, you like it?
That is a horribly addictive game. I built a city. I've had it going. I'm at $1 million, and now I don't know what to do. I killed 5 cities, like literally different ways. I need to buy the disaster pack, but it's not that bad. COD's better. But
My issue with it is that it was too easy for me to get to where money wasn't an issue. I'm used to playing SimCity, which not the newest one. I do not acknowledge that as existing, but going back to SimCity 4, I played 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, SimCity 2000, there wasn't a 2. I even in that game, I could get where I was, keeping my head above water, but it was still always a struggle. Where in City Skylines, eventually I would get to a point where like, the city's fine, it doesn't even need me anymore. Shrouded Angel, thank you so much for the lemon. What is that? Is that a finger snap? Finger snap lemon?
Yeah, I think it's the snap through the eye with the wink.
Is it just me or is Pincalo a bit loud? You might be a bit loud, Pincalo.
Let me see. I don't have voice meters gone right now, so my update completely shat everything. It gave me Microsoft Edge back. So I'll try and speak slower and lower, and maybe I'll have the dulcet tones. But let me see. But I also might be speaking loud because it's been a while since I've had the cans on.
Oh, there's just people talking in chat about other things. Yeah, I just finished my Fallout. I'll still be playing Fallout because I have to do the DLC still. I'm not sure what I'm going to play next. You play online, don't you? Or on a stream?
I've been streaming without voice on. So I've just been like on Twitch, I've been ASMRing Farm Simulator, which that's another addictive one. But I've been just doing COD the last few nights. But I've just been sporadic. I've been doing more TikTok content than I have been fucking YouTube content.
Wait, time out.
Yeah. Jack, you see my face on there.
Jack?
It's not bad. I don't shake my ass. I'm in the industrial side. If like on mine, I'm actually going to do a scroll of the show this one day. I get transport trucks. I get right-wing guys. I get Republicans. I get black conservatives. Lots of the gun nuts. All the gun guys that got kicked off of YouTube are all over there.
No, still.
I don't get the teenage girls. I don't get that shit. The first week I had to sort through all the India crazy industrial accident shit. Guys like snaking molten steel by their legs as they're catching it and throwing it between mills and vices and shit. Like, I mean, the artistry that's on there, the guys that do the metal. So what?
It's TikTok.
It's interesting. It's you know what? I've got
to me, you are a 16-year-old girl with a man's voice.
Hey, you know what? Fine. I'm just happy.
Gamer Valine, thank you so much. Who says men who get married now should always have a prenup. We have agreed that if we do make anything legal, the prenup will just be petty things because we want it on a court record.
And
prenups don't save you.
No, they do not. They will. No.
A prenup can be overridden by a judge. It's happened. A judge can decide that a prenup is too prejudicial against the bride, usually.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now, back to the TikTok thing real quick. Sorry, I know it's
wait. You know what? You are really loud. Jack, can you say something real quick?
Sure. What do you want me to say?
There you go. Okay, Piccolo.
Is it my gains through the roof?
A little bit, or if you could back your mic up just a bit.
Let me go another foot away. Is that better?
We'll see.
Yeah, the thing's a foot and a half away, so I'm trying to fix it. I'm sorry, everyone. I did not know my audio was going to be this bad.
No, it's not bad. It's good audio. It's just loud.
I know, and that's the problem. I don't like that. That's the I think that's the StreamYard's. That's the StreamYard's output. Where is it here? Is it that button? Edit.
Yeah,
no,
I haven't messed much with their audio at all.
No, I have no idea how this shit gets fixed. So I'm going to have to do it manually. So I'm going to mute myself while I sort that out. And
well, we're kind of late into the stream. We are at 2 hours and 12 minutes. And there was one more thing I did want to talk about. And I don't know if you guys have statues up there that are getting pulled down, Pinkala, but Jack, did you see they pulled down a statue of Washington?
Oh, yeah. Big shocker.
And what did they spray paint on it? Something like slaver or some shit like that?
Something like that.
It was pretty brutal.
We're down to literally destroying the father of the country.
Well, they have to. That's how you rewrite the entire history of the country. Because, like somebody pointed out on Lords of the Night, I think it was, well, the 5 minutes I was there. If you destroy the history, the people that are around now, they're not the ones that are their target, because you'll still remember it. It's the people that come after you that are educated after us that will not know the difference. So they can write whatever they want about how evil the originators of the country are. They've been slowly doing that for decades now. And in 20 years, these statues won't be around with the plaques to remind anyone what these people stood for. The history will all be rewritten, and the original books will all be out of print and probably destroyed. So all they have to do is erase some digital copies, and boom, they've got a whole new history of the United States.
Gamer Valine, real quick, Gamer Valine, thank you. I just want to be all inner doorknobs, would contest anything else, and tell the judge I didn't want it because I have a job. There you go.
All right, how's that? Is that any better?
Now you're really low.
Okay, how about now?
That's good.
Okay, I found the mic gain on the actual thing and brought my mic closer, so now I feel normal.
That sounds good right there, actually.
Okay, good.
Do you guys have statues up there that are being pulled down?
They've been doing that for a while up here. Actually, they're going more after the names right now. Like the town next to me, Kitchener, is after Lord Kitchener. Used to be actually called Berlin.
Wow.
I shit you not. October. It's the largest Oktoberfest city next to wherever they do it in Germany.
Yeah, we read a story about this on Lords of the Night the other night, guys. They want to rename the town of Kitchener because it's named after a guy who was in the slave trade.
Yeah.
Right. And my question was, how many people actually know that? How many people knew that before you started talking about it?
Oh, that's hard to tell now, because I knew about it. Like if you were like a minor history person, you knew about it because it's kind of, you kind of see the remnants of it places, because it wasn't really slavery so much as it was indentured servitude.
Mm-hmm.
It's unless you were Chinese and building the railroad, then you got fucked. But that was kind of different.
Sure.
But we had our whole, we had the same as you guys, because they all came from the same fucking country. Everyone came from England. So we had the same shit. Like we had the French dealing with the slave trades here, same as well. We all did. We have many statues that people are trying to pull down again. Same thing as you guys. White leaders are bad, kind of a thing, because they're all after the natives. It was all about the natives.
Do you guys have a father of your country?
Rick McCarter, Cartier, yeah, Cartier.
Okay, I didn't know, because I know you guys.
We have a lot of stuff.
British for a long time.
Not really British so much as
stop it. Yes,
French,
you were.
British hybrid colony like you guys were until the Revolutionary War, and then we kind of gained our independence through legislation, and now we just have the Queen as a monarch symbol. That's about it. Like she doesn't really rule over anything we do.
She still owns you.
Dom,
really. I'm not ignoring your questions. I'm ignoring all of chat. So feel better.
I mean, she could murder Trump and get away with it, just like she could murder Trudeau, and that would be happy. That would make me feel so good just to get rid of that little fucker.
Know who else owns slaves? Native Americans. Frosted. Frosted.
Don't know about the Iroquois and their the Blackfoot.
Yeah, we don't talk about
Sioux nations did not have encampments. No.
Yeah, the Navajo were enslaved by the Inuits, something like that. Yeah, come on. That's they were all peaceful, noble savages who got along fine without the wheel and never hurt each other.
Yeah, they didn't grossly
and they cried when there was litter,
dissect each other over their fucking land. None of that. No.
We knew this was coming with Washington. Most of us predicted it back during the Ferguson riots, and we were shocked it hadn't happened then. But as soon as the statue started again, Washington, all the founding fathers, they had to go. Fuck, they
went after an
defaced
abolitionist.
Lincoln. They defaced Lincoln, for fuck's sake.
What was the guy from the abolitionist that they defaced his fucking thing, his statue?
I know who you're talking about. What do you know the name, Jack?
No, not offhand.
Yeah, but yeah, I remember the story. I just don't remember the name.
Or the 54th Regiment. Like fucking let's deface the Black Regiment of the fucking Civil War. That's a good, brilliant, guys. Fucking brilliant. Know your history.
Our history is not pure. That's fact.
Mm-hmm.
But
nobody says though.
There you go. We all know about look at the ancient civilizations like Genghis Khan. That man was a fucking if Genghis Khan existed today, what would be going on? Like actually, wait, we do have that. It's the Middle East.
They'd have shot him.
They would have, yeah. They would have put a cruise missile up his ass by now.
Yeah, he would also have a man bun.
Speaking of natives, that Karen who got slapped by a native in Phoenix, that got hushed real quick. I didn't even hear about it. Genghis Trump, there you go. Genghis Khan was literally Hitler, indeed.
There we go. There were always somebody worse. There's always been worse tyrants out there.
You know, and that's not look. I don't think that's a good excuse for like keeping up bad people. Like when they're talking about taking down the statue of General Lee, I actually get that. I do, because this is a statue that is celebrating a man. Not just because of who he was, but literally because he took up arms against the United States.
Well, monuments
having a statue up for him is kind of ridiculous. And same with Jefferson Davis or Sherman or any of the Confederates that were known. But these were in the state got to decide that. So I at least understand that. And if you want to take those down, don't destroy them. Put them in a museum somewhere so people can still see, and talk about it. That's fine. When you're getting to Washington and Lincoln and Jefferson, go fuck yourself. Seriously.
Sorry, Monkey. Wasn't there a reason that they put up the statues of the losers? I can't remember. There was a reason that they actually put them up to honor them, and it was a stupid reason, and I can't remember.
Some of it was to help kind of mend fences with the South, like let them have the statues up so we can move forward as a country, and some of it was to like honor the dead Southern soldiers, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I did say Sherman. Sherman was the South or the North. He burned Atlanta. Just like the protesters today.
Oh,
did they burn Atlanta today?
No, they've just been. I mean, it's had some problems recently.
That Rashad Brooks thing. That was that's a doozy of an argument. I've gotten into a couple Twitter debates on that shit.
I thought the Statue of Lee was for him fighting against Mexico. When was it put up?
Yeah, that's the problem. Is there's some of these people did good things. They did some bad things. It's not really our place to put our 21st century morality on somebody that lived back then. You can say, yeah, that was bad, but the statue's already up. Do we really need to be tearing it down so that you can't instruct your kids like this guy did some bad things? I don't really think tearing the statues down is a good idea. It's not being done by a committee. They're not being put in museums. They're just being destroyed. And you're racing past that way.
You're also erasing the memory of the artist. That's
exactly.
I had no problem watching the statue of Lenin fall.
I didn't have a problem watching Saddam's topple.
Well,
I'll be honest.
I get it. If people want to have them taken, I don't want to see them destroyed. And in retrospect, the statue of Lenin probably should have been put somewhere rather than destroyed.
No, there were enough of those out and about, though, that they could have grabbed any of those. Like, Lenin had one in every square, didn't he?
Probably.
Probably. I mean, but the idea that we're going to destroy him is where I have the problem. We don't need to destroy everything. And you're right, Jack. It's all about getting rid of the past. And you can hide from it all you want. But how do you go from we need to atone for the sins of our past to we need to hide the sins of our past?
Well, by hiding it, you're doomed to repeat it.
Especially when part of your argument is that the sins of the past have been fucking hidden.
This is their equivalent of hiding under the bed. But quite literally, they're hiding under the sheets to hide themselves from the boogeyman.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karaman. Despots and tyrants destroy history. I would agree with that. Except for, I do understand the toppling of the Lenin statues. These are people who were really oppressed. You know what I mean?
Can we put the ill-educated into that pile as well?
Yeah, probably. Don't worry, I retweeted it to you and Jack. It's a beautiful thing. I'm guessing that video. Not all that many photographs of these Civil War guys either. I'm all for preserving the history, especially, look, we went through the trouble of making the statues. There's no reason to break them. Just put them somewhere.
Put them in a hall of losers.
Museums exist.
Yeah, but I could see how they would quietly remove them from a museum and melt them down without anyone knowing.
Fair enough.
That's what I worry about, is they're trying so hard to erase history that eventually they keep this up, they're going to do it. We can't let randos make these decisions. It needs to be elected representatives making the decision.
Hey, Jack, what do you guys think they do? Like, think about when they find the golden eagles, like all those old Nazi paraphernalia. Do you think they melt those down? I've always wondered, what do they do with those?
Probably.
I think a lot of them are in collectors' hands, but Germany probably melted them down.
Well, because think about all the ones that are around, like Argentina and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, well,
it's weird. The monuments that are that exist to the losing sides to keep them memorialized is odd. But then again, history is written by the victors. God, history is written by the victors, is what's always said.
Yeah, well, history being written by the victors is not always the case, but we've been more fair with our assessment of history in the last couple hundred years than any time previous.
Yeah.
So it's hard to look objective at history when humans are not entirely objective. So I think that's it's a truism that's misleading because people take it to mean different things.
Okay, before we wrap up, I got to talk about this. This just popped up on my Twitter. Zoe Quinn,
Oh God.
who hasn't blocked me yet for some reason, tweeted out, if you're one of the folks coming forward about a person in your industry grooming, assaulting, or otherwise preying on you, and you just want or need to talk or vent to someone who has been there, reach out to me if you want. I'm a vault of secrets and I'm on your side.
Yeah, she's a vault that's been blown open by TNT.
Oh my God. This is a woman who came out with bullshit charges. Less believable charges than E. Jean Carroll's. And because of what she came out and said, a dude killed himself. Her provably false allegations against this man caused him to kill himself. And she's like, I'm a vault of your secrets.
Right.
What a cunt. Guys, with that, I think we're going to wrap up. Because I got to do a game stream. Got to get over there back to the vault, and we're headed off to, I think we're going to do Far Harbor tonight. Nuka World is, I mean, it's just killing raiders. So,
I should actually start on a mission. I've done every single side quest, and I'm halfway through all the bobbleheads. I should actually start doing the mission now.
I had a lot of fun with it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so very much for the donations. I really do appreciate it. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop a link to a video in the chat, but thank you so much, everybody. You guys are awesome.
Guys, he's got several links down below with his channels. Go check them out. He's got one that's almost at 1,000, you guys. He's getting there. Was it 800?
812.
812. Which one is that, Jack? Give me the link.
I just dropped a link to one of the videos on there. That's
all right.
Roll for Sandy.
The Roll for Sandy channel. That's where he does unboxing of games, you guys. Go check it out. It's a good channel. Go subscribe. He's getting close to 1,000. Go get him there. Go help him out. See, Jack, that's how you do a show. He's got to learn.
You'd think I'd be better at it by now.
I'm going to get the squirrels on your ass.
Those motherfuckers. No.
I thought about you today, Jack, because the Babylon Bee apologized for getting a story wrong.
Yes. Okay.
And it was about squirrels. I don't know what it was supposed to be. People were pissed at them, and I went and looked to see what headlines they'd put out recently, and none of them seemed that offensive to me.
I saw a screenshot of something that was weird from them, and it turned out it was more not satire than anything. But that might be it. I gotta find it. I'll retweet it to you later.
That's probably the problem, though, is there are a bunch of hypersensitive pussies out there on Twitter. They're like, "Oh, that hurt my feelings."
Gamer Valine, thank you. Monk, breaking news. What breaking news? The stepmother of the Atlanta cop was fired because she was his stepmother. Didn't his wife get fired too?
Probably. I saw his wife or his mom got fired from. She worked for some like mortgage company or something.
Oh, maybe it's his mom that I'm thinking about then. Yeah, I'm not shocked. They'd issued if it's the one I'm thinking about, they actually issued a statement saying that it was something that she had done before.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's her performance, you guys. That's why we fired her today.
Yeah, they found some trivial bullshit reason to fire her. I hope she sues the shit out of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it also depends. I mean, is she in a right to work state? I don't know if Georgia is or not. So, or if that's where she even lives. But guys, go subscribe to Jack's channel. That's the point of everything we've said for the last 5 minutes. Pinkalo, anything you want to show, bud?
Wow. What to start with? I'm trying to get my lawnmowers. I'm trying to get my channel started like a lawnmower that's been sitting in the rain. I'm working on it. Jeez, that's why I'm like streaming every kind of night, with or without audio. Blind Press and I have our show on Sunday night on the Blind and the Special. I will probably be showing up because we're going to do our $2 for 1 minute of high intensity elliptical plus $5 gets you a description that'll be in the description. And then we have the Patreon up. Blind Press actually has a Patreon, and I've been doing some interesting photos. You guys have seen those photos. They're actually on my Instagram. I've been doing a lot more photoshopping. Well, not really photoshopping, but light editing. I'll send you guys the new one. I'll send you guys the new one in a few minutes that I just did with that shield. You guys saw the one I sent you before, but I have a new one that I did where the shield looks real.
Oh, cool.
And then on top of that, that's going to be on my Instagram at Driving Ape. And then Blind Press is just blind_press on Instagram for her new one that she's putting up her fitness photos. We're still doing news commentary, but we're kind of just burned out on news. So we're just kind of trying to lose weight and do the fitness thing and talk at the same time. Just kind of doing a bullshit session. But we're going to get into the news more. She's going to have her show going, but her Patreon is up. That. And yeah, so that's about it. That's
and
life
don't watch
over
TikTok for anything because TikTok sucks.
Yeah, go ahead. I got my own crowd over there. I got 1,000 some odd followers over there. I'm good.
Faithless says they did not even cancel Jeffrey Dahmer's mother. I know, right?
Oh, no shit.
That motherfucker ate people.
Jeez, did they go after Manson's mother? No.
Did they eat people of color?
Yes, he did.
Well, that's a hate fact.
He actually preferred black people, as if I remember correctly. He liked black guys. Anyway, wasn't the guy that the cops returned to him black?
I think so. The kid.
Yeah. Anyhow, fuck. I'll be over on Ranting Monkey Games shortly after this playing some more Fallout 4. Come hang out, guys. Tonight is Saturday. We're going to be on my channel for Lords of the Night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Do not forget, links below for my Patreon, my store. Oh, Jack, I got to get your store in there. Wow, shit. We need to pimp that out before we leave. I got to.
Oh, shit. I got to do up the store still. Shit. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look for that, too.
Jack, where's your damn T-shirt?
There it is. Just dropped it in the street.
There we go. Go get the Not Jack T-shirt, guys. It's awesome. If I wore shirts, I'd buy one. I don't wear shirts. I haven't bought any of my own merch because I do not drink coffee and I don't wear shirts. I'm gonna have to get a monkey shirt just to hang to the fucking wall.
You should get some stickers.
I could get stickers probably, yeah.
Hold on.
I have this just let it happen sticker.
Just let it happen. That's funny.
The kid the cops returned to Dahmer was Asian. Okay. All right, I knew he wasn't white. I was close. Asian's close to black, right?
Both of you check your Twitter DMs real quick. If you want to put that one up, Monkey, you can, just to show show the picture.
Let's see.
I don't mind. She's happy with this. This is her self-esteem is going through the roof doing this. She's so happy.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm doing this. One, it's like we if you listened to our stream last week, I got asked. We had this one guy hop in into our DMs, and he was trying to join us.
Oh,
yeah. It's like, no, dude, no, fuck off.
It's like, no, it's not that kind of channel, dude. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. It's like, no. But but that's what I'm trying to do with her is get those kind of stuff set up so it looks decently cosplay stuff like that. And it helps her. She likes it.
Mata says, Grand Monkey and the grandkids would love your monk face stickers. You know what? Actually, especially right now, Pumpkin really would. She's into the whole monkey thing. She loves monkey. So maybe we'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Jack Pincalo, thank you guys for joining me. Everybody enjoy your Saturday. We'll see you next time.
Appreciate you having me on, Monkey.
Bye.
Go buy Jack's shirt, you fuckers. Do it now.